As an Indian, I always remind myself that ancient Indian wisdom traditions used a phrase called Vasudev Kutumbukam, which meant the world is my family. And if India wants to really be a leader in the world, it has to realize that its strength lies in its culture and its economic strength, which is emerging, and not waste its money on militarism. It's apparent, okay, that we are one ecosystem. It's apparent. It's apparent that we are one economy. And I think it's apparent that we are one humanity if we get rid of our limited identities. I think the India-Pakistan situation is very complex, and I wish there was a very simple solution. There isn't. But a good start would be that President-elect Obama is tough with both sides. You know, as I said earlier in a different interview, the US and India have come up with a nuclear deal. It's not a nuclear arms deal, it's a nuclear cooperation deal, but in the mind of the ordinary person, it doesn't make a difference. If you have nuclear technology, it could be used for weapons as well. This has obviously caused a lot of distress everywhere else, including India's neighbors in Pakistan. So this is an opportunity for Mr. Obama to use that as a lever to be tough on India and make sure that at no cost India will resort or even attempt a violent solution or an act of what they call retribution or react. At the same time, Mr. Obama has to be tough with Pakistan in that if we know where these terrorists are trained, if we know where the money supply is coming from, you know, Pakistan right now needs economic support from the United States, and that economic support should be aimed at creating a powerful economic Pakistan, not necessarily a powerful military Pakistan, because you know, if you focus only on the military, you do it at the cost of everything else in development. So instead of right now the United States is giving a lot of military aid to Pakistan. By the way, it's also selling weapons to India. So the United States is selling weapons to both sides. You know, in fact, I know of weapons manufacturers who are private companies from the United States. They go to India, make a good weapons deal, then they go to Dubai, rest for a few days, and then they go to Pakistan and make the same deal. So, you know, while American companies are making a lot of money, they're basically giving weapons of mechanized death to both sides. They have to look at that honestly. Do we replace our military aid with economic aid? Do we put a stop to this weapons trading? Do we help with education and awareness? There's lots of things the United States can do on both sides. It takes a lot of toughness to create peace. It takes no courage to create war. You know, war is created by bullies. But to create peace, you need a real hero. So Mr. Obama has to be tough in his vision to create peace. You know, you talk about Kashmir. I mean, it's such a hot topic. But one thing that was encouraging is that the Kashmiris now had an election which was legitimate. They elected their own government. But Kashmir could be the playground of the East. It could be the, you know, skiing center for people who want to ski in the Himalayas. And all you have to do is you have to have cooperation between the Kashmiris and the Pakistanis and the Indians, that, you know, this belongs to all of us, and Kashmiris, you take it, you do what you want to with it, and you know, if these countries start to build economic partnerships, this could be the resort of the world, and it would bring affluence and abundance to everyone.
So the money made that way, would that be directly in competition with the money that's made when we are warmongering? Would that be as much? Is that as much benefit, you think? Is
the
that why?
warmongering makes money for a very few people. Okay, a handful of people. The peace-mongering will make money for a lot of people. You know, the word jihad originally means self-sacrifice and struggle to go beyond the ego to the universal domain. And so it's actually a good word which has been corrupted. And Muslim is such a beautiful word because it means to serve.
I think that's where the moderate Muslim has also become an extremist, unfortunately, is because the original essence, the meaning of the word jihad means struggle against your own self, which is why they fast the 30 days.
Against your own limited self, yes.
Yeah, your own self, and allow for the higher self to emerge. But it has
and Muslim means to surrender to the universal,
completely.
to submit. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and that has gotten corrupted because there is a minority that has felt very abused in the process.
We need to revive the Sufi traditions
yes.
of Islam in a big way. It's the feminine aspect of Islam that has not been seen by the West. Only recently, when you talk of Rumi or
I think it
Hafiz
first
and
needs to be
these people.
embraced by the mainstream Muslims themselves. You see, that's where that's at.